You guys can't hear my music, so that's sad. But later on, I will actually play Pump It Up. Hey everybody, welcome back to yet another crypto stream. I hope you guys are all in the chat already. At least I saw a few of y'all. Actually, 50 people were already in here chilling before I even came. That is scary numbers. All right, that is that is something I don't even know exactly what to tell you right there. That is a bit odd. Regardless. All right, today has been a pretty good day. So throughout the night, all of a sudden, XRP started to go on a monstrous rally. Back to the all-time high, just barely not breaking it. It was about 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago that we got so close. Or it could be we actually broke, I don't know if it's 366 or, you know, what the exact all-time high was on the cent. It could be that we have officially broken it again. But at least we got really close. Maybe 1 cent away, maybe like half a cent away, something like that. Do you guys know if we officially broke the all-time high earlier today? Or we just got really close? And at the start of today's stream, it'll be a bit quieter. Why? Because as you guys might know, some of you all don't know this though. The reason I always say subscribe is so you get a notification, right? But you can only get 3 notifications a day. Yesterday, I streamed a bit later than what time I'm streaming at right now, meaning that most people that were in here yesterday that got the notification then are not getting it now. So a lot of y'all just, I guess, came in here and, you know, we're just here. What's on the menu today? I'll show you, boss. And again, today, if we do some crazy price action, I'll just blast a freaking Pump It Up song. Just get the copyright strike. I don't give a crap. Now, the highest point was 36671. All right? And right now, we went to 36545 about. So about 1 cent away from the all-time high just a little bit ago. What's on the menu today is, the problem is, for my health, this is not amazing, this streaming lifestyle. It is some nuts, some freaking peanuts, 1 apple, 3 bananas, and 2 croissants. Now, you might be asking yourself, Dusty, why don't you get something else? The people here at this hotel, their breakfast menu ain't that crazy. And I can only go to the breakfast downstairs in the lounge until 11. But I wake up every day at 1:30. Today I woke up at 2:15 p.m. So that's a bit too late. So I can't go to the breakfast. So I have to make do with whatever they give me later on. And at 5 you can eat again. Then you get different food options again. There's a buffet. I'm looking for Pump It Ups without copyright. But these are all, I mean, they're exciting. Dun, 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 dun. But
it's all about house music. It's all about club. It's all about house music.
no, these all don't work. It has to be the normal one. But it's gonna get striked. So there's not a single version of some random ass guy singing this, Pump It Up or something. How can that be? It's so famous. Why don't I? How's the trade doing, you might ask? Well, give it a second. Let me load it on in. Yeah, not doing too bad. Definitely not doing too bad. So what I discussed late last night is that y'all were asking basically if I'm still buying, when I'm going to be buying. So I made a video for both of those. One was basically to explain exactly what my XRP predictions were, because for some reason people still don't know. If you've been watching the stream, you know, but otherwise maybe not. And second was more so as in, am I still buying? Am I thinking of selling here? And I just described, I will buy every single day regardless of the price right now because of risk to reward. Now, I have a couple of tweets that kind of contrast this just to get everybody, you know, in sometimes, you know what? Let's not even complain. Let's not even complain today. Let's do a day of no complaining. Maybe that's a possibility. So I saw this video just now. Let's give this a little watch. This is Dave Portnoy's response, by the way. So for all of you that do not remember, this is from him a few days ago. 4 million views, by the way.
I'm getting ready to go to bed. And I can't lie to my people. I have a confession. I sold XRP when it went up to 240 because the guy who told me to buy it told me that I should sell it because he thought Circle would compete with him. And he was unhappy with it. It's up 60% since I sold it, and I would have made millions, and I want to cry, and I don't own it anymore. Even though I was like the leader of the XRP army, I sold it. Good night.
Now you responded to that with there's more funny videos, man. Oh, take a look at that. First, we're gonna find this one.
Anyways, XRP. I had, I think, close to $3 million of XRP. And it was hovering. XRP was going from like 210 to 240, back to 210, back to 240. Fine. I wasn't going to sell it. I was going to diamond hands it. But the guy who originally was like, get involved in XRP, and the reason I looked at it, sends me a text out of the blue. And I don't talk to this guy a lot. And he knows who he is. He knows who he is. And he's like, hey, not good news that Circle is going to do what XRP is doing. I don't even really know what he's talking about. I'm like, so you're saying sell XRP? He's like, I certainly don't like it that much anymore, or as much as I did. So in XRP, it's going 240 to 210, 240 to 210. When it went back up to around 240, I'm like, all right, I don't, this guy doesn't like it anymore. I'm just going to get out. No sooner did I sell it, the thing went parabolic. It's like 350. I blinked. Made me sick to my stomach. Sick to my stomach. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then the guy was like, well, I didn't sell it. Well, then why did you? He's like, I hold things for 5 years. Well, why did you text me out of the blue being like, I don't like it? Just, I just put it, I put it away. I wasn't even thinking about it. I mean, I'm still doing good in obviously Bitcoin and ETH, but that hurt.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys think about this? What do y'all think? Mrs. says this guy's not very smart. Trying to stay positive, Dusty. Eric says people need to learn to think for themselves. Oh, Eric, oh shit, you can't see perfectly the chat. If only. Everybody, by the way, if you're in the chat right now, we have about 350 people in. Make sure you press that like button because otherwise I never get them up there. I want to see if today we can break an all-time high, but not for likes, by the way, for XRP. But also, I want to, make sure people get into the habit of coming on in and, giving it some taps, some love taps is what we call it over here in the West. I'm in the exact opposite, but I'm actually in the West. I'm as far as west as things can go. I'm not the west of the continent, but you know what I mean. West of the world. Anyway, but the thing is, you can never really feel, and this is something that maybe I shouldn't say this way, but you can never really feel bad for somebody if they already got an astronomical amount of money. You know what I mean? Like, he's already multi-millionaire by far. I don't know how many millions he's got, but he's doing pretty freaking good. Oh, he didn't make an extra 2 million. He cannot sleep. He's got multiple, I think, right? I think he's got multiple tens of millions on the side, so I think he's okay, right? And I think, again, my own personal opinion is either he's a bit of a crybaby, which is, well, you can have it. Second of all, he's an entertainer, which I appreciate because you can see I'm here every single day on streaming as well. He's not stressing about money, or he's like very freaking on his schmeckles, okay? That's a possibility. Because, but I just more so think that this is a thing he's doing. Because, again, if you look back at this video.
I'm getting...
And by the way, for all of you that do not know who Dave Portnoy is, very famous sports guy. Not for playing sports, but covering sports. Very, very well known in America, Canada. Very popular. And...
ready to go to bed. And I can't lie to my people. I have a confession. I sold XRP when it went up to 240 because the guy who told me to buy it told me that I should sell it because he thought 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧𝗏 would compete with him.
You see, so now already it's kind of interesting. First of all, he ain't no leader of no XRP army. That was BitBoy. Oh, he wasn't, but BitBoy was always screaming that as well. But that was pretty funny. Owns Barstool Sports, yeah, and then he sold it, and then he bought it back. But a lot of you might not know Barstool Sports. Anyway, so that's what he's all about, right? But I'm thinking already in this video saying, yeah, the guy told me to sell. And then later on he says, yeah, the guy texts me saying he's not liking something he's seeing. I'm like, these are two completely different things. If somebody texts me right now about Bitcoin and says, oh, bro, it's not looking good, I'm not, if he tells me it's not looking good, I'm not be like, oh, no, I need to sell everything. I'm gone. It's like, well, he's telling me he might be afraid. It's kind of to get a bit of the liability away, you know?
He was unhappy with it. It's up 60% since I sold it, and I would have made millions, and I want to cry, and I don't own it anymore, even though I was like the leader of the XRP army.
Nah, I think he might be trolling. I really think he might be. Fred says, Paper Hands Portnoy is the Ohio State of crypto. Do your own research. Man, this is the biggest little piece of saying, indeed, do your own research. Never just trust somebody blindly. Anyway, that leads me to a nice little segue. I'm not your financial advisor. Nothing I say in this video is financial advice. Everything we cover here is purely for entertainment purposes, my opinion, my strategy, and I make no guarantees to you. Even if it may look like it, which it doesn't, but even if you think so, I never make any guarantees. Because nothing in this life is guaranteed except for two things. You know which two things those are, right? You already know what those two things are, especially if you're in America. You know the number one. I mean, you're eventually going to be in a coffin, and you're going to pay your way into that coffin. Those two things are pretty certain. Ain't no coffin coming for free, baby. You're thinking, oh, but I'm just going to lay in the woods. They'll find a way to charge you for that. All right, taxes are a thing you cannot fully escape. You may think so, but there always is some sort of tax. Let's see. Keep It says, you are not a financial advisor, but I've made so much money listening to you. No! Never say that again! You made it because of yourself. And this always sounds a bit cliche. I find it dorky when people say, it's me, it's you, dude. But in reality is, let's say we take the videos here. 10,000 people watch a video, right? 15,000 people watch a video. How many people actually go for it, do something? 1/10. How many people are actually successful in that? Maybe half of them, right? Because it's pretty simple, I think. It's always intuitive. Most people don't do it. They just are like, yeah, I should probably do that, right? Most people don't take action. And I've made multiple videos saying, take action, Most people don't do it. So when I often say, no, it's you, it's because I can say the same story to 1,000 people. But 950 of them won't. Okay, let's say a little bit. Let's say 800 of those will probably not take action and will never make a schmeckle. Why will Kraken sponsor this tool shed? Because he's extremely famous, extremely well known.
So anyway,
sports people,
XRP.
Sports people, funnily enough, people who like to watch sports, a lot of them also like to put money on sports. And by that definition, if he's the one, talking about his crypto trading, perhaps they also would like to get into that. The Art of Reed says, are we expecting a pump today? Well, matter of fact, I will say, and this is not, again, advice, I'll say, yeah, I'm kind of expecting the market to break the high again. In reality, because why? We're going so strong, right? We had ourselves an attempt of the high. And I mean, I'm not saying it's going to break through. Let's just call it like that. But here, we were just 1 cent away from the all-time high. We basically touched it. We give it a little kiss, right? But we want a French kiss. We want a full-on freaking lugga at the top, right? That's what we want to see. A little bit of more trending. This was just like 4 minutes at the top and 1 cent off. Right now, we're just potentially going to reattempt it. I mean, we can draw things in on the 1 minute chart, like, oh, things are not, but I don't like to look at 1 minute charts for those reasons. All right, 1 minute charts are too they mess with your brain, guys. Right? This you can't do much with a 1 minute chart. It messes with your brain. It keeps you thinking that this is how it's going to work, but it often doesn't. But it does look like it, right? It does look like it would fit. And this is indeed how the price is reacting or acting right now. But we basically are expecting this this is just for explaining purposes. Here we go. We are basically expecting us to hit back to, is it this one? Nope. Yeah, it is. We are basically expecting ourselves to get, back roughly to the prices we saw earlier today, about 3 hours ago. Why? It's just a little hope or something like that. Just because if the market stays strong, Bitcoin doesn't make a big move downwards all of a sudden. Ethereum doesn't make a big move downwards all of a sudden. We have this upward bias, which is we go up unless something pulls us down, which mostly seems to be Bitcoin. And Bitcoin did pull us down from making the all-time high just now, as Bitcoin went from almost 120 back to 117 throughout the night. You can see, so when this was all happening, Bitcoin was also almost 120. Right, when I went to bed also, it was like 5 something. It was almost 120. Right now, it was also almost 120, and it's fallen all the way back down. And many alts have actually not performed as bad, but that's the funny thing. Right now, I personally think my bots are destroying it, and I've done something new. Right, yesterday night, I told you I'm going to set up a lot of new bots. I've actually set up 5 new ones overnight, and I wanted to make a video later in the night as well about them. It's just exactly what I described to y'all just last night in my last videos. I said I'm going to open up different bots for different coins, 𝗏𝗏𝗏. So I've done one for 𝗏𝗏. They're not sizable because I just wanted to open them up and then get started later. But I had to buy all the coins. It's already traded 400 times. That's crazy. Solana already traded 600 times. Ethereum trading about 152 times. But again, the profit is not crazy. But that's also because it's only 0.5 ETH. Dogecoin, 2,500 Doge I put in. Solana put 5 Solana in. And the thing is, I was also thinking, if I want to add margin with my dollars, I can just do it for anything. Here, if I want to add margin or I want to do some, right, I always have to do it in Solana terms. And I just bought 10 Solana. I was like, ooh, you know what? I'm buying Solana at the high. But what? It's 196. Oh, you know what the funny thing is? Everybody always says you always sell Solana at $200. But that for the short term, right? But I guess that's not going to happen, huh? I sold my Solana pretty cheap then. So our XRP coin margin futures are doing pretty good. We're up 250 XRP right now. Everything looking good. And the rest is all dollars here. So the most interesting one I'm going to be watching is my 10K to a million challenge, because obviously I want to compound again. But we need to go up like 1% or so in the XRP price. If we're back to 364 maybe already, huh? I can actually compound it again. So we can add another 5% on top of it. Another I don't know, how much, $2,000? Could be pretty nice. The rest is all looking pretty juicy as well. Just good in general. Virtual's back in profit. I refuse to buy virtuals in a dip. I just refuse. I have it open here. I have virtuals everywhere. I refuse to buy more of it. I just bought, I think, like 5K or so, somewhere in the dip. I refuse. It's just some coins I just don't want to be involved with no more. And virtuals is one of them, where I'm like, you know what? As I said to you, I know the founder. I'm not sure how many there are. I just know one of the founders. I thought it was just him, but maybe there's more. And I like him, but you see we bought here like a little chunk more. But it's not AI hype right now at all. And if I'm averaging in, like the nice thing is my price is 240, right? If I buy right now 180, I'm getting myself a price of like, I can even get myself a price of like $2 if I buy a bit more heavily right now. But the thing is, if there's no real hype for it, I might as well just wait instead of locking up more money. But this is a 50-50 situation where both can work out better. I don't know. It's hard to say which one would work out better. Normally I would if it's something I really, really believed in, but I'm not that excited for virtuals is the problem. I should also make this different. I should maybe put it like this. Let's do it like this. That's where we want to get back to. Why? Because that's the all-time high tester, right? This is where we get a bit tested, where we get a bit swifty, where we get a bit crazy. And right now, there's somebody who's going to say, Dusty, why do you make a video or stream saying we're pumping? And I really want to sometimes I want to take my hands and just start swinging. Because we are like cents away from the all-time high. We just attempted the all-time high. We're not breaking out yet. But why would you watch something if it's already happened? It's all in the past. You want to see it when it's happening or just before it's happening, hopefully, so you can maybe take action if you want to. If, let's say the price, XRP is at $4, right? And I'm saying like, oh, okay, this happened, by the way. No, then you're always too late. You can never do anything with that information, in my opinion. It's nicer to see it maybe perhaps before it happens or around the time it happens. Let's see. I see the chat is... Where did I put the chat? Here we go. All right. Lads, I'm back. Where you guys are watching from today? So I have a scary thing. If I put this Pump It Up song, there's a probability, there's a chance that nobody can watch the stream anymore. But I think what we should do is some way you guys need to know a way to let me know if the stream got striked or something like that. You know what I mean? Because I think I'm going to just play this freaking song. That's what I'm thinking. TJ says the other song, but we have it. But the Pump It Up song is the most iconic one. Can you play Pump It Up instrumental? Instrument's all the same. The 1 hour version. The problem with that would be, now, if I play it a few times, I might be able to cut it out afterwards. And just at least let the stream be online. But if I do it the whole time in the background, we can definitely not. Rob says, play the new one. Really? Alright, we can do that. Let me find it real quick. Where was it again? It's in Apple Music. Okay, give me a second. Okay, I got it open. Now, how do I find songs I've played before? I do not know how Apple Music works. History, there we go. Which one is it? Is it this one? I think so. Was this the one? I think so. Oh shit, I asked a question and then I forgot. And then I forgot to check it out. Today we have UK, California Dreamin', Canada, Lockup. Are you Chinese? Should I? Slovakia, XRP is not doing too good. Canada, East Coast checking in. Philippines. I'm from the Philippines, sir. I always hear this so often. My mom's house. Yup. Eco, Nevada, maybe? Aussie, Florida. Watching from England. South Carolina, US. Nashville, Tennessee. Hey, I like that. Same as yesterday, Vancouver. Is VA Beach Virginia Beach? Could also be Vancouver. I don't know. Pump it up. XDC would like to know. Okay, we'll take a look at XDC. Lofo says XRP number 1 by 2030. I'm not really rooting for it to be number 1, honestly. I don't mind it being number 2, maybe number 3, but number 2 is good enough. Because that would also mean that, like, funnily enough, if it goes to number 2 and it gets back to previous dominances, that would already be like $30 or $40 per XRP, funnily enough. I think now 20, but if Bitcoin does a bit better, it could be like 30 or 40. So that's the thing, good enough for me, you know. I'm not going to complain about that. The other song worked, but God, I just woke up. I can't start screaming. But we can play the song, but I can't.
Good,
working. It's going the opposite way. No. Whoa. What did you just say? What? You know what? I'm not even going to respond to that one. I don't even want to look at that no more. Jamie says it's a bit early for that here. It's 6:20 a.m. 6 a.m.? Where are you watching from? Australia? Finally, volume back up, man. Richard says, oh, it's nice having some music. My eyes cannot cut. Like, this music is also too much for me. You want to know another funny thing? Nowadays, if I get a nice little boozing going, I have to recover for multiple days in a row. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting older. All right. Oh! This is like slight. Rich says, your reaction has been any response could have gotten. Sure, buddy. My reaction was not to say, you would have hoped I would be right here slamming, but you're like, ah! Your response was nice. Ha! I see. Trainer says, man, you guys are interested. We get to see some cheeks if we pass all to my brother. If we pass an all-time high right now, you don't know the type of dancing we're about to do here. All right? I don't give a crap about none of y'all. I'm going to be swinging in my chair probably, but still. All right? If we break the all-time high, I don't care. I'm coming out and leaving my family at $10. All right, you do you, brother. Everybody knows about your crypto coins. They're like, oh, we're rich. Like, no, I am rich. I bought these coins. Do you not understand? This is me. You have nothing. I'm leaving. That's rich soon as we hit $10 a coin, huh? Yes. This is what you should do. I personally think as well, you should switch up on anybody that's ever supported you the moment you make the $10. Because at that point, You should not. That'll be a very lonely life. I think you'll find new friends. Don't worry. It's you, not them. What family? I left them already. Nah. You know, I have a little problem. I have not done any other trivial tasks in like a few days because all I've done is wake up, I was late to scrap, stream something, go down and eat, go back, record 2 videos and a few TikTok thingies, and then go right to bed. So there's all these normal company things I need to do. And everything's like, oh, you know what, I'll do it later. We're doing too crazy in the price. But the problem is, in reality, the price is doing okay, but not that crazy. It can get so much crazier. Sean says, bet the neighbors love you at the hotel. The thing is, first of all, this is a living room, right? There's nobody next to me on this side. My bedroom is on this side. Oh, you can't see the price, luckily. And my bedroom is on this side. So here is window. So this is outside. There, yeah, there people can hear me just in the outside, if you know what I mean. But again, I'll for all y'all that you want to know, for all of you that are a bit interested in my internal affairs, this is the room I'm working with, all right? This is what I've got in terms of living space. We've got 1 chair. That was not smart. Oh, that's fine. It's too bad. So we got some Swifties space over here with nice, man, the flooring is done well on this. I like this. I don't know how you call it in English. I like the way they did the flooring here. All right, you think we'd be watching XRP, but don't worry about none of that. We got like yeah, obviously door here, obviously window and stuff right here. So there's nobody on the back end, and my bedroom is on this side. So I don't know. I don't think it's gonna disturb too many people. You know, like I think we're actually quite okay. I think. I'm not loving this right now. Oh, GTA says, who cares? It's summer. They'll be fine. No, it's winter, dog. It's winter in South America, man. Did you get your seats cleaned? Of course. They came in pretty quickly to clean that shit up. Mr. Crypto with the GMG. Bus says, play the song, and we're pumping again. No, every time I play the song, at least about like 100 people leave or something like that. We just had almost 600. I played the song, we go up 480. Now we're finally back to 600. In a bit, if the price does something crazy, we'll just blast the song. I don't care who leaves, right? But now, everybody, if you're not done yet, make sure you go ahead and press that like button. Why not? We've already had about 2,000 people hop in and say hi. Get those likes up there. Because if you right now press it, we'll instantly be at 159. All right? You right there, if you press that button, it will go up 1 like, and that is good enough. If you right now press that like button, we go up to 161. You know, so if you press that button right now, we'll instantly be up there. I'm waiting for you. Like right now. I'm waiting. I'll give you some. There we go. Which song is it? I will use it. It is Royalty Funk. But I have another problem. You guys gotta let me know how loud it is in your freaking speakers in comparison to my voice. As in, is it you know, is it like you can dive away from it, or is it like in your face? Like you gotta put the freaking booster on in your house and the whole house starts slamming. I don't know. Like I can hear myself not. How do you say that? Victor says his ears explode. Oh shit. Alright. It's max volume. It's not max for me at all. I can put the volume up so much louder. Matter of fact. Get ready for this. I'm about to get ready for this. I'm about to do something crazy. Nah, don't worry guys. I'll not do that to y'all. Okay, let me okay. Let's test it again one more time. I put it 20 decibels down. Okay, so it's coming in 3 seconds, right? Prepare your volume. It's not that loud, I think. 3, 2, 1. This is 21.3 decibels quieter. Max, my ears are bleeding. I'm so sorry, my G. How was this? Was that okay, or that's better? Oh shit! I didn't know. I had no idea. I was thinking, why does everybody hate this? But it's because you know everybody. Oh, I would have loved to see that. I would have so loved to see that. SB says still way too loud. Okay, but then we're getting more towards the proper system, where it's a bit loud, but you know, doable. 520 watching and 31 likes. No, it's if you did not refresh the stream, then the likes do not really update, I think. Guys, so I want to watch it again. This is one of the funniest. I have 2 videos I want to show you. One was the Uber driver thing. For some reason, a lot of people here do not know the Uber XRP meme. It's like people used to always say that the people who invest in XRP, who buy XRP, who like XRP, they're mostly all Uber drivers. I don't know why, but it is a bit true that if I go into an Uber and they own crypto, there's a 99.7% chance they also own XRP. And so Jakey here went for a little bit of an experiment, which was interesting to say the least. But
hi, I'm Soul Jakey, and today I want to find out whether it's a myth or not that all.
Do you say louder or
a good majority of them
like this,
are holding XRP in 2025 and getting rich as fuck? Let's go. Gabriel is driving a Toyota Corolla. Hey man, I have a question for you. Do you invest in crypto?
Huh?
Do you invest in crypto?
No.
You don't hold any XRP?
I don't speak English just a little bit.
Oh. Okay. We are 0 for 1. This might be an all-day thing. And it turns out it was an all-day thing. Hours of getting into Uber after Uber after Uber after Uber after Uber and getting the same dreadful response. Oh, I had a question for you though.
Yes.
Do you hold XRP?
What's that? What's XRP?
What is that? What is that?
What is that?
What is that?
What's XRP?
It's like cryptocurrency XRP.
No.
No. You don't hold any?
No. Oh no. I would say the answer is no if I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the Uber drivers just retired because XRP is at all-time highs. But then, on our 25th and final one, rate will...
That was the funniest thing he said. Maybe they're all retired because XRP is at all-time high. It is a funny thing, though. If you think all the Ubers must be holding this thing, well, maybe they were onto something. Maybe they're not driving Uber no more.
When we were about to give up, we found a guy that actually might have known what he was talking about. And I got a question. Do you hold XRP?
The crypto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it. So essentially what we've been doing, we've taken 25 Uber rides and we've been doing a social experiment because everybody on crypto Twitter says that Uber drivers and Lyft drivers are the one that are holding XRP. They're the ones pumping the price because it's hitting all-time highs right now. And I've taken, you're my 25th ride, my last and final ride today, but you're the first one to say that you're holding it.
Oh yeah.
How long you been holding it for?
I got in at like $1.67. I probably won't sell again though.
Great to meet you, man.
Yeah, nice to
Appreciate it.
meet
Do you hold any Solana?
Not Solana.
I know you got to go and stuff. We're in the middle of the street, but what is it about XRP that made you buy that? Like, why XRP?
Just for the simple fact that it was gonna be the new form of payment and you could do transactions in like less than a second.
Hell yeah, dude.
For
Well,
sure.
appreciate you, bro.
All right, no problem.
Thank you, man.
Y'all be good.
All in all, we've taken 25 Uber rides today, and 1 held XRP. Case closed. It is not a myth. They do like XRP, just not in a majority vote. Thank you guys for watching.
Well, I don't know if you really concluded anything if 1 out of 25 held crypto, but I like your thinking process. I don't like the conclusion necessarily. I don't speak English. That was funny as crap also. Yeah, so we had another interesting one, which was bitlord here. So he's, I don't even know how to describe bitlord to you, but he's an interesting character.
That's my brain right now, mate.
back to the planet of the apes, because you need to be a monkey, you need to be an ape right now. Your brain needs to be over there. There has to be something wrong with you, because you're gonna wake up to shit that you can't even imagine with these prices. You're gonna see it go so high, you're gonna wake up, you're gonna throw up, you're gonna start to have a panic attack, and if something's not right in your head, you're gonna sell. So trust me, take yourself back to the primitive stages, take yourself back to the land of the apes, the planet of the apes, where it's just monkeys, apes, fucking dogs and mutts. You need to be one of these things to survive this market. You need to have something wrong with you, or you're gonna sell. If you talk about being bearish, if I see you talk about being bearish, I'm blocking you, I'm deleting you, I'm removing you from your life, from my life, from my fucking life. Guys, this is the pump of the biggest pump of human civilization. Like, this is it. It's just starting now. It's just getting going. It's just kicking off. Oh, fuck. I'm like this every day. I haven't stopped being like this because I know what's coming. I know how high it's gonna go, and I'm not selling a fucking cent, mate. I'm not selling a fucking cent, mate. When it's time, I'm gonna be buying tickets to Pluto, mate. I'm gonna be announcing my own partnerships with SpaceX, and these guys are taking me to fucking Pluto. That's gonna be my planet from now. That's what I'm coming for. I'm buying fucking planets. Don't worry about islands. I'm after the solar system. That's how hard this is gonna pump. That's how big this is gonna get.
Well, that was something. You know, honestly, still within margin, funnily enough. Though that's the funniest thing here, that if we look back at what we were talking about earlier, that theoretically speaking, it's still completely within margin. I think. I don't see any pump. No, the pump was a bit earlier. We went back to the all-time high. And it's calmed down a little bit. We're chilling. But let's see. Where's Bitcoin going towards? Bitcoin back to 117.7. ETH back 37.73. How many of you guys are holding right now? How many of you guys have sold? Some of you guys are saying, I've just sold. Someone says, I'm selling now. What are you guys doing? Who's buying? Who's selling? Who's doing nothing? Just chilling? Is this the 1 minute? MD, this is the 1 minute, correct. This is where the men get separated from the boys, on either the 1 minute or the 1 second chart. That's where the real men stay at. 𝗕𝗃𝗪𝗃 says, I take 3% profit every time a new all-time high. Fair. Oh, my phone is empty. She. You see, these are the type of thing you can never let happen to yourself. It's not empty, it's still on 1%. But that's why you always got to have random charges, random power banks, everything. What if I go out right now? What if something crazy is happening to XRP and I smash my monitor? I need to always have my phone. Donald Trump, is this, what do you say, DGT? Do you mean Donald J. Trump, or do you mean like freaking Dojo Kabuni? This could be anybody, realistically. Boys, I need to also, oh my God, we also need to finish this. So I still have people to give giveaways to as well. Ah! I asked Croc and it went wrong. But now we're a bit late. Don't worry, we'll get to this. You guys need to remind me, we need to finish this by the end of today. There's no way I can delay it any little bit longer. And for all of you watching, you understand. It's not a great amount, for me at least, to give away. And I always said before, my goal is to at least give a lot of people a little bit, right? So like $20 here, $25 there. It's just I'm trying to keep that spirit up. That's why I was also thinking of doing another thing, but I'll talk about that later. Because we tried it yesterday, it was a bit more difficult. So I'll talk about later what I'm doing in terms of a giveaway right there. But let's see here. You're saying Donald Trump. Where did he post something on? Oh, 3 minutes ago.
6 months in the White
House. It is my honor to introduce to you the 45th and the 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Donald Trump immediately getting to work with a remarkable show of the use of executive power.
We've never seen anything like this. There's 20,000 people cheering for every executive order signed.
President Trump comes in and immediately begins taking action to fix each and every one of these fires that the Democrats started.
It's 6 months delivering on the agenda. This ultimately is promises made, promises kept by the president.
This is a message to the rest of the world.
So, hey, I just want to quickly put in. You can love the guy, hate the guy. You can really think he's one of the worst guys on the planet. You can think that, sure. But this guy's got aura. I don't know what their team is doing, but even if I did not know the guy, even if I had no opinions of him at all, just watching this, he looks like he's cool. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot deny that they made these videos just like,
World. The days of ripping off America and Americans are officially over.
The Trump archives are a series of near impossible feats.
We have the safest, most secure border in the history of this nation.
Border crossings have dropped so much that federal agents now outnumber illegal crossers.
He had a mandate and he's delivering on it. The American economy is better for it.
NASDAQ and S&P both hitting all-time highs.
Gas prices are down. Retail sales are up. $2 trillion in international financial agreement and record tariff revenue.
The USA is on a roll, culminating in the signing of the One Big Beautiful Bill on July 4th.
A bill for and by the people.
Thanks to this bill, Trump could resign tomorrow and still point to an enduring legacy.
And he's full steam ahead for America.
This movement that President Trump has started is only getting bigger. It has more energy, more enthusiasm.
What he's going to do is show up and work hard and deliver every day for the American people.
You're watching history, so buckle up, because the next 3.5 years will probably be just as busy.
They know how to do freaking good videos, dog. I mean, I don't know who was the captain of this, but that captain was not that old, because this is an amazing freaking... That was an amazing video. Again, love or hate the guy. That's besides the point here. All right? There's a lot of people I do not like, necessarily, but they got some good-ass videos. And this one, I'm not going to lie, that's a cool-looking video. Damn! Damn! Who else we got? Let me see. Do I have more videos lined up? I don't know. You know, because over the past couple of hours, there's just been... BS Mega says, hey, we pumping, we pumping. I saw that line go like 5 a.m. Huge dump. Till 5 a.m. Yep. Let's see. Now, those are all the funny videos I got. Unless you also want to see the astronomer video, you know. Obviously not completely on topic. Oh, XRP. Oh, there was a nice little betrayal story going on with Coinbase, apparently. That's a little funny story earlier in the day. If y'all want to get a little bit of the coverage here. It's the guy behind Masari, Ryan Selkis. He's calling out Brian Armstrong, saying he's a traitor. SBF level, like the heaviest level of all. I don't know why he's including our GOAT SBF, into all this, but regardless, SBF is so freaking hilarious, man. That guy is such a funny character also. Not as funny as BitBoy or all them, but anyway. Brian, which is the guy behind Coinbase. Send your crisis communications team whatever you need to send. I beat your comms plus policy team solo. You lied to me and then defame me. So this is some interesting beef going on because I can't really comprehend trying to beef with Brian Armstrong right now, the CEO of Coinbase, who's like on top of the world right now. And the question is, why are you angry? It says, because they told the White House I was a security threat. All because they were butthurt that I dragged them to the finish line kicking and screaming. Like, what is going on right there? But the thing is, I don't really know what's internally going on between these people. I don't really care. But I thought, hey, you know what? If this turns into a very big drama, at least you saw some parts here. Smeg says, market makers were sweeping liquidity during last night pump. You know what the problem is? If somebody says last night pump, it's almost impossible to know what you mean when you say last night. So for me, for example, the all-time high levels happened just now at about 11:55, right? So right around afternoon, right? Just like noon, I should say. So this crazy rally just now happened a few hours ago. And percentage-wise, it's only like 4% up in a day or in a few hours. But the thing is, because we touched highs again, it gets interesting. And right now, for example, it is again quite interesting to watch just because you're wondering, hey, what is the next leg going to be? Is it one move down or is it the move up or is it just going to consolidate for a little bit more? And the reason a 1 minute chart is not that useful for these type of scenarios and why we often look at this chart from before, for example, is because what can it really tell you, right? You can see that the price has been consolidating for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And in this case here, it actually holds up quite nicely still. Because even if you look at it on a 50-minute chart, you can see indeed what the price is doing-ish. But it doesn't necessarily have to work that way. In this case, so we've slowly but surely been coming up. And actually, when you start breaking it down, it seems like we are pretty much set for just another rally upwards. But again, I think, and this is my own personal expectation, right? Our buy-in here is not going to get too much better. I still don't think so. I don't think we're going to get ourselves a better spot than where we bought out right there. And again, we put this order in when XRP was trading at 366. We said we sell there and we buy back in below, which we did. Pretty juicy freaking buy. And right now we're back to the heights. So theoretically speaking, we can again cash out the 60K or so that we bought right there for a juicy little profit. I mean, it's still 10% up, right? So it's still a good couple of schmeckles. But then again, like the guy was saying just now, realistically, if I'm selling right here, I got to have a purpose. I got to understand why I'm doing that. By the way, guys, if you're watching this stream, we've had about 3,500 people stop by and say hi. Make sure you press that like button. We have 605 people, 618 people watching, 217 likes pressed. Any single person makes a difference. If you're watching right now thinking my like won't change anything, try me. Try that button and we'll see. Right? Appreciate you. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. So, again, to continue the conversation, right now, not having the craziest of pumps. We could start screaming and blasting, but I don't know. I feel as if, though, this is a good moment again to describe why it doesn't matter that much for most of my strategies. The reason I, for example, only entered with 0.5 here, even though I do believe I bought a full ETH for the strategy. I could buy more. It's just about the fact that I'd have to go and do it then. I wanted to set them all up within like a minute. I set this up at, again, 12 hours ago, right? It is right now 4 p.m. You understand? This is doing me 4 a.m. It's like, I'll quickly set up the bots because I told everybody I was going to do that. You know, I didn't want to sit there thinking about all the money. I was just like, I need to get the results in, get the strategy in, and we'll go from there. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking like, you know, theoretically speaking, I should do wider ranges. Because even if it's not my personal preference, I should probably just have higher ranges for Solana and stuff as well in case they do break out. Yeah, mostly from the perspective that most people will not copy time and time again. I can change them all the time, but if you copy my ranges, it will not automatically change for you. Just like how you see here with ETH. 4,800 is pretty far away, but theoretically speaking, it's kind of close. It's like a pretty easy move right there. Dogecoin, again, I think this is a very solid range, like 41 cents at the top. But Solana, I kind of expect it to just start bouncing pretty hard. We have 148 as the bottom, but only 216 as the high. The thing is, since $200 looked like it was going to be a pretty interesting spot, the only other level I can think of is basically all-time high levels with Trump 293, something along those lines. Am I stuck again? Oh, no, I'm not. Yeah, and XRP 444 I thought was also pretty solid. Right, this range is very large, but I also like it to be that way. It could be crazier. I mean, our let's see here real quick. our 10K to $1 challenge, 1.6 to 5.13. And it's still doing wonders, right? Still has already traded 5,500 times. But it's Solana bull run bots. Look at this. Already traded 9,500 times because the range has been a bit more accurate. And it was more volatile, perhaps. I don't know about that. I think the past 24 hours, Solana has all of a sudden been going really, really crazy. Also, Dogecoin. It's funny, right? In the last 8 days, already traded 1,000 times. Hype, already in the last 8 days, traded almost 3,000 times. And that's, again, what cashes you out the grids. But depending on where the price goes, sometimes it's actually less than another one, even though it traded more. Pengu, 6 days, 8%. This is the craziest one by far. Like, Pengu has been the best thing I've ever found. It's crazy on a percentage basis. It's really wild. Again, if you're wondering how I calculate that, it's based on how much it's cashing out annualized. And again, it all makes intuitive sense, I hope, for anybody watching. You can all do this manually too, but again, if you want to do it effectively, you can't. Why is it not refreshing properly? Oh. Is my internet away? XRP breaking down. How's the other coins doing? ETH breaking down, everything breaking down. Oh, a little hope for ETH. So you might be asking as well, why is everything falling? These are normal market dynamics. I'm going to change the... Guys, what should we change the title to, though? Anybody have a good thing? Anybody have a good title? I'll change it for y'all. Oh, actually, I should not change the title necessarily. Super Noob says, I think you should do a $100 to a 100K challenge. You would smash it. No, that's awful. First, partially, because it literally is not fun to me. You know, 10K to $1 million challenge is not as fun at the start because it's only 10,000. And again, this might sound a bit strange, but let's say you do really, really well. You turn your 10,000 into 20,000. There's not that much excitement for me. If it's a 100K to $1 million challenge, you're able to double your initial money, 100 to 200. I get a good thrill out of that. But from $100 to 200, it's the same amount of work basically. Why would I do that even? So what's the point in that? And most of the strategies don't work with that little money because your fees almost overtake whatever you can do. If it's not $1,000 at least, I wouldn't even probably do anything like that. Yeah, I probably wouldn't go for any of that, to be honest with you. That's why we did a 1,000, for example. Could do 1 mil to 100 mil. No, that's where it's too much. 1 million. You know the amount of stress. So again, the reason 10K to $1 million is first of all because a lot of people can copy along or understand or fathom, and second of all because it's best for the balance. If you're, for example, at the 400K range and the price moves down 25%, we're down still 100 bands, right? Even though we made all the money first, you're still down that, so it's still annoying to watch. And that's the most crucial thing, the higher up you go, the more you're gonna move the market. If you want to enter with freaking 90, this is not my best. That's not my best screenshot ever, huh? Damn. There we go. Oh. I need to add more emojis, by the way. I need to get that done later today. I was going to say, the more money you got, though, the more you're entering this with, the more difficult it becomes as well. Also, emotionally. If all of a sudden your trade size goes to $4 million per thing, right, and eventually you're 44 million, if it's down 25%, you're down $11 million. I don't know. It's not that easy. It's all the same in terms of concepts. It's all not that different. But the mental is a big part. Theoretically speaking, right, a lot of people, and I'm not saying do this, but a lot of people could trade way higher numbers than they are doing right now because they're quite certain about some things. They could do a lot more to get even more money out of it. But you don't because you're thinking, you know what if it's wrong? What if it's this, that? Now, do that times 10. That idea of why don't I take out a freaking mortgage against a house I don't even own? Why don't I just start scrapping all the money I got? I'm starting to sell my cookies. I'm starting to sell everything. You don't do that because you're thinking in the head like, yeah, what if, I shouldn't. The more money it is, the more that's going to ache on you. And the more you're going to think, what if I just sold now? What if I cashed out? What if I... And that's why you should always do it wherever you feel more comfortable at, where you can still keep your mind like chill, where you don't start making irrational decisions. I think you're good on emotion. You wasn't even that excited when the long went up 300,000. No, but first of all, that's because it was down $100,000 first. And otherwise, if I was too emotionally involved, I'd also close it right there and then and there. Because again, it's still like, I could still buy a watch off of that, right? It's still, you know, $100,000 in the minus is still not that fun. But I also know if you want to make the big money, you can't really be that excited over $300,000 because it's not that great. Hold up. Insane amount of money. It's a freaking house. But I think if you're going to start thinking like that, you're going to become like, oh, I should cash this out right now. I need to, it's 300. What if it's going to be 257 next? Every single time I look, it's down and up $20,000. And I'm going to stress myself to freak into the ground. So I just see this as, have a strategy. I'm going to follow it to the freaking core. It doesn't matter if that number says 300,000 or 721,000. Because again, if I look at my own friends, if one person, like Chris, for example, has $40 million worth of trades open, and he's out there just chilling, well, first of all, because he's got significant sums of money. That's one. But also, because like he understands the concept here. And I'm thinking, all I would do with my XRP now, if I sold this position, is I'd sell it and then buy XRP again. So what's the point? And again, you have to be a little bit mad to get to the top of the top. You have to be a little bit freaking stupid in a certain way. Like, man, should I show it again? I'm going to show it again. It's the best.
That's my brain right now, mate. Back to the planet of the apes, because you need to be a monkey. You need to be an ape right now. Your brain needs to be over there. There has to be something wrong with you, because you're going to wake up to shit that you can't even imagine with these prices. You're going to see it go so high. You're going to wake up. You're going to throw up. You're going to start to have a panic attack. And if something's not right in your head, you're going to sell. So trust me, take yourself.
He actually means that if you're right in the head, you're going to sell. But he means that if you are a little bit crazy, you know, you go back to freaking, you know, you're in a mental state of just craziness, you're probably going to be able to hold this through. And again, he's just basically the core principle being, go look for freaking planets. Don't settle for a freaking car. I mean, if you're starting with $100, I'd settle for a car. Don't get me wrong, but like for the people a little bit higher up on that, you know, somebody's got to start out with $10 and do better than most of us. It's gonna happen. Some people just got that dog in them, you know. They want it more than others. And the thing with crypto, it's essentially true that if you really want it bad enough, you can outperform almost anybody out there. Because it's just time, right? The amount of time and dedication you input most often also results in output. But a lot of people, they're just like, yeah, you know, I'm buying, blah, blah, blah. But if you're a little bit more consistent with it, a little bit more hardcore, some people are. There's going to be some freaking Indian guy in a village, just got himself internet on his phone by the luck of the God, got himself $7 in crypto, and he's going to become a millionaire by the end. That's going to happen. We're going to hear some cool stories soon as well. Because it happens every single time. It also makes sense.
So back to the primitive stages. Take yourself back to the land of the apes, the planet of the apes, where it's just monkeys, apes, fucking dogs and mutts. You need to be one of these things to survive this market. You need to have something wrong with you, or you're going to sell. If you talk about being bearish, if I see you talk about being bearish, I'm blocking you, I'm deleting you, I'm removing you from your life, from my life, from my fucking life.
Also, it is funny. You know, if I look back at videos I've made over the past few days, weeks, it doesn't really matter when. Months, matter of fact, even. I'm scrolling through my things right now. For example, my different videos, my different streams. The amount of times I've made a video saying, do this, this is the plan, this is the strategy. And people say, no. They don't look back ever and think, oh, he was actually right. Because the thing is, when it comes to these crypto things, all you had to ever do was just shut the frick up and buy. And then whenever the market goes down a little bit, people are like, see, you were wrong, this guy's stupid, idiot, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm looking at TikTok now, as out of all places. And I can see some of the videos I posted a while back. In there, I'm saying, the market is just getting started. Here's what we're going to do. And we were, right at the time for a little bit, and then it went down hard. But Bitcoin, for example, some of these videos just 70,000 and this, that, 1,000. I'm like, well, even though it may look high at the time, it may have not been fun at the time. If you now look back, you really wish you could have bought 𝗬𝘁, for example, at 50 cents or whatever, right? So right now we're doing pretty great again. But 𝗬𝘁 was below $2 just now, like not too long ago. In my head, it's still like below $2, but it's almost back at 4. So by that logic, really, sometimes you need to really just zoom out a little bit and understand where it can go rather than where it's at. Yeah, but yesterday it was high, so do. No, when we're talking here, for example, today about this XRP move, we're not necessarily thinking about where it's gone in the past or that it's down a little bit. We're caring about where it's going to go next. And again, we might have to zoom out a little bit, but overall, I think the theory still stands that this is the craziest move up for XRP in a long, long, long time. It's slow but sure, right? And we can start talking about the bottoms that it should not be able to take out. I don't think it matters too much. I think, again, you just have to be a bit more patient. And sometimes if it doesn't happen initially, you got to, again, zoom out a little bit, wait a little bit, teeny tiny bit more. But you have to also understand that we hit our all-time high just now, right? And we hit this actually on the 1 hour with a stronger candle than before. But depending on what happens today, we could, again, just make, let me show you on a different chart. This 𝗕𝗓𝘀. Depending on how we end up today, we could actually get ourselves the highest daily close again today. Because, again, people like, Dusty, we're not bumping up. Shut up! Shut up! We are! We hit an all-time high 3 hours ago, basically. We're 1 cent away, right? We're so close. We are trading at the highest levels anybody has ever seen, ever. This is pump. It's just not a 15% move in a day. But I still expect that the moment we get one good crossing, it could be this time, it could be next time. The moment we get that good crossing, it's going to happen so fast. And people will wish they had the quiet times we're having right now. And again, I still consider some of these things a pump. Why? Because going to the all-time high, I always consider a huge move. Everybody's got to watch. I consider it a pump, I consider it interesting, even if it's only 0.5% like with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin now goes back to whatever the high was by, but it's $100 away, I'm like, oh, what's happening? What's happening? Because you might be able to break it. You might be there. Today, right now, we are sitting at the highest prices ever. And if you're a freaking dumbass, you're going to say, yeah, but it was 10 cents higher earlier, so it's not true. Shut up. This is the highest daily point we've ever been at right now. If we close this in a few hours, this is literally the all-time high. All-time high levels is what we're trading at right now. If it just closes like this, nobody's ever seen these levels before. It's impossible because it's the highest point ever for the day. Now, again, there have been a few cents up. We've been a few cents up. But can you understand how crazy it is, the fact that we have not straight up fallen like the previous time? Last time when we hit these levels, let me see, where was it? 340, right? In January, right? You can see, we hit 340, bam, we went all the way back to $2.80 a few days afterwards. Actually, within that same day was a lot of volatility too, but look at this, $2.80, 17% down in 3 days. Right now, we hit it. We were chilling a little bit, went down a little bit, and now we hit it again, right? So this is looking a lot stronger of a move than what we saw back then. I am way more excited about the near term here than it was back then because that was the end of the run, or at least it felt like the end of the run. This still feels like the beginning of an even bigger run. And once more, most people will not be able to acknowledge this whilst it's happening. They'll acknowledge it afterwards, but it's okay. At least we have a pretty good understanding, I think, of how this usually looks. And the conclusion there is, we're going to see some crazy stuff. So for some of y'all, I do wonder. Leon Short says, it's good to see you, Dusty. When you're live streaming, I'm making schmeckles. Are you doing something? Are you shorting your long? Are you doing something? I wonder, for a lot of y'all, right, if you had to take a 6-month scope, do you guys think we'll be higher or lower than we're at today? Matter of fact, I should ask you differently. Do you guys think that this run we will at least double still from the current prices? So let's say about $7 a coin. Do you guys think that's happening? NJ says, Dusty, thank you, brother. Don't say thank you for what you're about to say, bro. This is a scary thing. He says, every single time I think I should be selling all my coins, you come through to remind us that we got to be strategic. Not always. If you, again, the biggest counter to any strategy is if you could really use it. If I put $1,000 in And I right now am at 366,000. I can finally buy a house. I'd snatch that in a heartbeat because that's changing my entire life, my entire trajectory, and I'll make the money again. You can get greedy, you can get willing. You know, you want to actually become a millionaire now, and you may be able to do it. You may be. But then comes a risk-reward type of system where, you know, the risk of this, of you actively pushing it and this, that, it may not live up to the reward of having a bit more in a car and this and that, when you could also just settle for a house because you did a 366x. The same thing applies to me, same thing applies to anybody else. If you're seeing the craziest of numbers and you all of a sudden can't fathom it, it's not the stupidest sell. For me, it's actually kind of different. Why? I don't ever need to sell. First of all, because I don't need the money for anything. And second of all, because what am I going to sell it to? I need to buy crypto right back. So that's my point. Like, I believe in this stuff too much. And a lot of people like to come up to me and say, but do you really? What if it crashes? What if? And I don't see this as a possibility. There's, in my book, a 0% chance that crypto fails. It's not true. It's a non-zero chance for sure. But I believe it to be that way. And so I never really have to sell. All I got to do is just be patient. Just keep looking at it every few months. Then if the market goes back down. But thus far, it's always worked out. Check out 𝗏𝗀 and 𝗕𝗀. Those are both a bit garbage right now. I don't like 𝗏𝗀, never liked it. And 𝗕𝗀, that's like, I think every single person who's ever held 𝗕𝗀 is just like wants to beat them. It's awful, 𝗕𝗀's performance. Maybe they're doing good now, could be, but. Mrs. says, look at our percentage up this month, then look at Bitcoin's monthly. Yeah, it's crazy. It really is crazy if you look at how good some of these coins have been doing. Look clean. Looking good. Change the title. I should change the picture, not the title necessarily. The title is Breaking All-Time High Today, question mark. I think that title was fine. But the picture is XRP Pump. And again, it was true a few hours ago, but let's get rid of that. Let me see what I can grab. What do I have still? I'll do an XRP. Is this it? This is fine, I think. Let's go for that. Mister says, if XRP only goes to 7, what a waste of time. You know, I have two things to say about that. One, I can understand where you're coming from because almost any coin would have performed better in this time period then. But second of all, that's why you diversify. Actually, third of all, if you're not happy with the price doubling from here, your strategy is probably very risk averse. Meaning you will not make any money ever if it's a waste of time to you when a coin doubles in a few month time span. It's very, very hard to do any good numbers then if that's the idea. Because doubling, even in a 6 month time span here, it is amazing. 6 months and everything doubles. And I want to sometimes be a little bit cocky and say, if you can't retire off of one crazy crypto move, you're playing it wrong. But I played it wrong before as well. Because you get to, when the market's moving upwards, you keep thinking, oh, it's going to move more and more and more. And the market moves down, you keep thinking it's going to move down and down. So the problem there is not in making money. I think a lot of people can make a ton of money on the move up. But the problem comes in really realizing it. And if the price doubles from here, that's one thing. That's amazing. But the problem is, will you sell if it's only doubling? Most people think it's going to go way higher, way higher. So Nick says, some of us don't have a lot of money to put in. Please never in my chat ever give me this excuse. I had $0. I want to give away $20 and look at where we are today. So if you, yeah, but I don't have any money. So it doesn't change anything. There's people out there that I know that started with 100,000 that right now are at 30,000. They are only going down. And there are some other people that started with 1,000 right now. There's people that are 19 years old, 21 years old, sitting at above $100 million in 1 year off of meme coins and shit. You might say, yeah, but they're insiders. You're not any worse than them. You know, it's not like, yeah, but always excuses. So I always like to say it like this. If my ability to make money, for example, let's say you have $20, is not that good yet, it's the mindset, it's the skills, it's whatever. It's not the money, it's not your connections, it's nothing. You could be, like I told you just now, you could be a random ass guy from a 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗏 village in freaking the southeast of freaking Angola, and you could outperform every single one of us in this chat right here. Yeah, but Dusty, you already have money. It's easier for you. I'm telling you again, it could be 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝗧𝗍 in freaking the south of Pakistan, who all of a sudden becomes the #1 on top. And also, to a certain extent, it's really about how bad you want it. Some people just want it more than others. And they really go after it relentlessly, like relentlessly. And sometimes it may be unethical. We can say, okay, but we want it to be ethical, sure. But those are all additions to the rule that, hey, we're pumping back up from the bottom of the range. So I don't know where in the story you did not understand that I just started with $0 in crypto because I had no way to buy crypto at all. You know, I'm also just a kid looking at a freaking screen, right? And I want to make big things. How do I do that? So I luckily won a giveaway, and we started using that little bit of money, a little bit of Bitcoin, to try and make it more and more and more, and it worked out. It was highs and lows. But how in this story did you think, was it inherited? Where, first of all, you can see every single part of my story, except for the few hundred videos that are deleted, over the years. Because I've been making videos 8 years in a row, almost 9 years in a row, every single day. So you can see, basically, the ups and downs. And what the investment instruments were have changed over time as well. This is very much so. But in general, it's not that special of a story. Content says, finding the right meme coin on pump can get you daily gains and are rich overnight while you hold your alts for long-term gains. You know, I can agree and disagree with this because what you're saying is you're going to play the freaking game, all right? This is a game where the majority lose and you might end up winning. But again, if you put the right amount of time in and maybe you have some insight, I'm not sure, right? I'm just saying maybe you find a way to win, but I don't like pump fun at all because I think it's so hard to win on that. But then again, there are a lot of my friends out there who literally this is all they do all day. You're making that story. Keep it up. Keep saying what you want, brother. Or maybe you're saying you're making that story as in you're the one making it, as in you're doing that. If you're saying I'm making this story up, that's an interesting one. But it's okay. But it's funny. First of all, a lot of things are funny. I've been here making videos for a lot longer than some people realize. The market was completely different at the time. Completely different. But I also think if you weren't here for the Bitcoin, hey, then you can't even speak on the good old time. But even that was late. And I always now say, I never found that I was early to crypto or anything. Because I think to some extent, if you were even earlier, let's say you're here from the 2013s or 2012s, like actively, just buying once or so, that doesn't necessarily do much for most people, unless they bought good amounts. Most people, even if they bought in 2010 or 2013, okay, let's say keep 2010 away, but you understand, they might have a few Bitcoins, but they lost them, or this, or that, or this, or that, they can't find them again. But if you stayed, which is basically what I did right from the 2017s, I stayed on, yeah, right? I don't think that's early at all. But if we compare it now, a lot of my newer friends, they've only come in 2021, and they say, whoa, you're so early. I'm like, no, I'm very late, because that was what it felt like back then. But right now, a lot of people will be joining this run, the 2025 run, and will outperform even us that were here the last run in 2021, even us that were the last run before that in 2017, 2018. It's going to happen time and time again. Lussa back in. And 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗏𝗏 has a nice little word right there. He says, it all adds up. If not this bull run, you can stack up for the next and learn a lot about the markets in the process. Yeah, I mean, I think knowledge there is the key. By the way, if you guys are watching this right now, if you've not pressed that like button yet, make sure you press that like button. If I knew back then what I knew now, I could probably do 10 times as well. Now, there is one counter to this. The more you know, the more careful you get, because you have a brain and you have more to lose. So let's say we're back at the 2017 times, right? First of all, I started with nothing. So I'm just out there trying my best, Okay, let's also, I'm doing a few things at once. Remind me if I forget something. Mr. says, I've already got multiple 10x plays and people are excited about XRP at 7. Again, there'll be some people who can retire their entire family off of an XRP move from 360 to 380. So $7 doubling in price in a few month time span, if people play it properly, is absolutely insane. Just in consideration, right? You have to kind of understand through the grip. For me, maybe it relatively is not the craziest of things, but still regardless. Let's say we have here our $1 million XRP trade. If the price goes from $3, whatever it's at right here, let's say, how much XRP is this? Let's say it's 300,000 XRP, right? So that by the end, this will be worth, let's say, 2.1 million or something like this. So from the $100,000, which was not even 100K, I think I put in 70,000 or 80,000, right? Going to 2.1 million when it goes to $7. See what somebody can do, right? And another good example, because I like to shut people up sometimes. I really like to do that. Not always, but sometimes. Here we have my other account, right? This is on Bybit, not Blowfin. I put $1,000 in. It is up $74,000. Yeah, but I only have 1,000. I can't do well. It's a skill issue. It's literally you. I don't like to be the mean guy right there, but you're the one at fault. It's not the money that's the issue. Yeah, but I don't have 1,000. Go work. Go at it. You need to get yourself at least to 1,000. If you can't get to 1,000, it's gonna get really, really tough. Because again, you got to get really lucky at that point, in my opinion. Because even with the $20 at the start, it wasn't fast. It took a long time, and I was lucky that I didn't instantly lose the $20. Because otherwise, that I won. Otherwise, I'd be back to square one, trying to maybe beg on the internet for money. I don't know what I would do, right? That's the core concept here. Oh, but we can't. Well, I mean, we did it right here. $1,000, 1,340 into 75,000-ish. I don't know. I feel as if people, you know, I'll go to my other account, the live stream account. Remember, guys, some of y'all were here at the time. This is the good old freaking times. We were live streaming also a lot. So I have an account here as well. This is my stream account. Let me quickly go to my trade. And I opened a trade. You guys were, I said, guys, we're going to go long or short. You guys were very freaking wrong. We went the exact opposite side. But I bought, let's see here, about $2,000 worth of BTC. And it's up about 48,000. Now we're paying a lot in fees, but it's again to prove the point of we put 2,000 in. It's right now at 50,000. Can happen. No. Tiger says, I'm sitting in these coins in unprofitable trades. I need to know whether it will go lower or grow and where. How can I know? I mean, a lot of coins, you're going to have to kind of give up, in my opinion. A lot of old coins, I just give up and I see if they'll recover in the run. So let's say, for example, I put $1,000 in 2024 beginning, and right now it's worth $17. I might as well hold it, right? Some of them I sell, but most of them I just hold and see if they ever recover. And I don't double down on things I'm not that excited about unless the momentum is back in. You know, if it's doing well and I'm realizing, oh, it's got a good potential for recovering, I go at it again. But a lot of them I'm just kind of letting go. But yeah, you learn that over time. I can't say which ones because it all depends on yourself. I could now say, yeah, but you see, for example, good example here is the virtual trade. I'm letting this one go. I can make way more money by doubling down right now, and I can do it. I can right now just buy another $30,000 worth of virtuals, and it'll get our average price to about $1.90 something. But I don't want to. I just literally do not care for virtuals. I don't even want to double down. I don't want to touch it no more. If it goes up, it goes up. But you know what? It's now just on its own. I'll see what it does. And the same thing goes for WIF. Again, same thing goes for a lot of other coins. Even though it may be better, theoretically, if I were to double down and all this, I sometimes just don't feel like it. And is it based really on strategy? Not completely. To some extent, it's just also just what you feel. And I feel with some of these coins, I just don't want to have even more exposure because they did me bad. But then again, a good counter would be with a lot of meme coins, if they're able to go 80% down and recover from there, they're actually better coins to hold than if they can't. Are you in on 𝗂𝘂? Yeah, I have some 𝗂𝘂, but I don't actively look up at it sometimes. Well, Dusty, I know you can tell the future, man. Come on. Because, again, please understand that if telling the future is so easy thus far, because nobody's been wrong by just saying, oh, XRP up, Bitcoin up, ETH up, all up. And I could say, yeah, but these are strong resistances. Everybody is a freaking genius in a bull market. What do you guys not get? Most of y'all do, by the way. I'm getting here a bit heated up. It has been so easy every single time. All you gotta do, I'm getting stuck. Give me a second, I'll fix that. You see, my freaking camera is not trying to take this no more. So. All you had to do over the past decade, over the past almost freaking 15 years, all you had to do was just not chat, not do anything right here, not ask me, but will it go up? Don't ever ask me that. And realize that thus far, every single one of our internet market thingies here has always gone up. Will it continue? Nobody really knows for sure, but we expect it to. So what do? We go for it. We buy these coins. We expect it to go. Now, how much money you make off of any move, that is up to you. That is up to your risk, because the price could come down for a little bit. But again, all I have to say here is I expect these coins to go up hard. I say that every day. I've said that every day for the last 8 years. Every single day I've been right. But again, maybe at some point you're not. But it doesn't matter in my personal opinion, because it's worth the risk. That's one. And second of all, and this is the most important part there, even if it turns out crypto is going to zero, I don't think it's happening tomorrow. Maybe it goes to zero and it implodes at some point. But what is the probability that you are getting in at the exact wrong point and it goes to zero right then and there? I think that probability is pretty small. But so if you want the future, again, all my future is saying right here, as you can see from my trades, if you can see from anything I show you here, is I expect the market to go up like crazy. And if it goes down slightly in the process, we have the bots that take care of it to make money as the price goes down. What else do you need to know? Oh, but it's going to go up tomorrow, today. No, if somebody's telling you they know, they're lying to you. They don't. Nobody knows that. There are important resistances and supports that I personally like. Some people have other trading strategies they really like to go for. It's impossible to know if it really works. Even something back-tested for 25 years doesn't necessarily have to work for tomorrow, but it depends on what you believe in personally. Even the stock market has imploded before. No risk, no reward. I don't think that's correct. You might say that's an implosion. I still consider that to be, oh, but it went down. Anyway, it's very much up now. Let's take the S&P. Yeah, but the stock market imploded. But yeah, but no, because the S&P is at an all-time high right now as we speak. So who cares about what happened back then? The only thing I care about is, oh, you could have actually gotten yourself an even lower price. You could have bought in good. But I think implosion is it goes to zero and it doesn't recover. Freaking Bernie Madoff type of style. SBF type of style. It goes to zero and it never goes back up. That is, in my book, an implosion. If it just goes down hard, but then all of a sudden it takes a higher high out, I don't know, man. I don't necessarily think that's bad at all. Let's see here. 15 years ago, I was 3 years old. I couldn't buy. That's a skill issue, dog. That's your fault. I was 3 years old. I couldn't buy. Okay, so that's on you, bro. You should have just been more handy with your phone. I have like some in Flare I got for free. Should I hold it or put in something else? Well, do you like Flare? I still hold the Flare I got for free. Not because I care about it, but just because I don't know what else to go for. And I'd be pissed off if I sold whatever I got right there and all of a sudden it goes on a monstrous run. But then again, I don't really have the animosity in my life anymore where if I sell something and it runs, I feel really, really bad, like Dave Portnoy type of style, because there's just so many runners. And if you're thinking of this mindset of, yeah, but, you're still thinking in bear market. Because in a bull market, it tends to be that everything just pops off. Do you have XRP bought on Bybit? No, I have only a Bitcoin bot on Bybit. But the thing is, you can't do that much with the bots on Bybit, which is why the bots I'm doing on Payonix and on Bybit I just have some normal trades open. Do you have bots on Blowfin? Not yet. They're telling me they're going to get them in properly soon, but they're not as good yet. So again, the reason I'm using Payonix is because they have the best bots in the entire game right now. But I use Blowfin. This is Blowfin. You mentioned you used to talk about DigiByte. I bought a long time ago. The price has come very way down since. I'm curious, why don't you talk about DigiByte anymore, and what do you think it might do? You can ask me questions about DigiByte, but I don't even remember what DigiByte does. I have no idea anymore. And I've talked about it in probably 500 videos, but I don't even remember. I don't remember anything at all when it comes to DigiByte. And that's the thing. It's not getting any attention. It could be that at some point it just pops off, but that's again just, there's nothing basing on that. So that's why I said in higher markets, I like to be a bit more on the momentum side, meaning whatever's working well, you expect to do better. We enter with size into things that are doing well with the size. It's 5% up. Yeah, that means nothing. A lot of coins are up 40% and it's still down 95% from their highs. So, is bluffing good for USA? That's a slippery slope. First of all, I'm not a financial advisor. I make no guarantees. You guys gotta understand, if you're in the USA, essentially, you're always screwed when it comes to crypto. It's very, very hard to do well. If you're not, and this is again my personal thoughts, if you're in the US and you don't even know what a VPN is, don't even think about trading in the grand markets. Because there's nobody in the US that trades with size that are not a massive institution, because they might use Coinbase or this or that. Almost every single person I know in the US, they use other platforms. I mean, some of them use Kraken or Coinbase, but not really. Like, that's maybe, again, the more institutionalized people. The normal average Joe, nobody that I know doesn't trade on these other platforms, like Blowfin, or it doesn't have to be Blowfin specifically, right? I want to tell you a lot of strategies what people are doing right now for being able to trade, but I don't want to say it on the air. But just know that in general, a lot of countries, you just have one step backwards, right? I'm in Dubai, I'm in the UAE, I can trade anywhere, it's all fine. But even if it wasn't, I'd probably use a VPN and either try to buy some, I try to do some stuff that maybe is not exactly, what everybody would think of quickly, but that's what I would do. I'm not saying you should do that in no way, shape, or form. But what I can say is if you don't have a VPN and you're trying to make it really, really big in this and you don't know anything, it's going to be a little bit more tough. It's going to be slightly harder. Because I'm using all these platforms and I know that a lot of people are. Again, there's many platforms though. It's not only Blowfin, it's not only this, only that. BTC I think is ass. I don't like them at all. I think it's like trash. But, everybody likes their own platforms, I guess. So, I can say a lot about, I don't like, for example, there's so many platforms I don't like. 𝗕𝗂 has been fine, but they're just not special, and they're very stupid when it comes to some things. There's a few ones you guys sometimes mention. BTC ass, I think. There's another one. What is that? It's like only Russian people, and then also, even then, no real Russians I know, but just some random ass Russians use that. Uphold is ass, not because they're bad. It's just, first of all, they're useless. What can you do in Uphold? Nothing. 𝗕𝗂 is good for spot. I only use it for spot, indeed. But even then, I don't actually use it. I only use it for, if I want to do some funny stuff. Coinbase Advanced. Don't even get me started about Coinbase. Oh, my God. But yeah, if you like Coinbase, you like Coinbase. How we doing in here? Price still not doing too much, but I explained the theory before. Where again, yes, things may be slow at right now. Things may not be as quick right now. We eventually, though. When we're in euphoria, when Coinbase goes down, oh my days, this is going to be interesting times again, huh? You know what's funny also? A lot of people have never witnessed that. And a lot of people have never witnessed the Coinbase issue or their account frozen with all their money. Coinbase is just, they're so big that they've got issues based on it, I think. I don't know. I don't even want to trash talk anyway. There's a few ones that I just think are really, really ass. Coinbase is not one of them. They have a few good parts, but they just have many freaking bad ones. But not as bad as some others. Bessent says he'll be at the Fed Monday night. What's going on behind closed doors? Interesting. Let's see. Fart coin about to go. You know, it's also funny that right now my portfolio consists of pretty normal coins for the most part. I mean, we have a fart coin thing and this, that, but it's mostly still okay. But I really think within a few months, there's going to be a lot of Mickey McGee and all these freaking stupid ass things. Wait, wait, what is Solana doing? Somebody texted me they bought Solana at a crazy price. Did Solana just go this high? Wait, what? Solana just hit 200. Almost. 199. He texted me he bought Solana at almost one. Damn. At almost 200, I mean. Damn. With 100x leverage. That is crazy. Damn. You see what I said earlier as well, right? Solana at 200 is almost always a sell, and we went back hard from there. It's just because there's a meme going on that Solana can never cross above $200 again. And even though you don't necessarily have to trust memes, right, there is sometimes some truth to it. The same happens with Ethereum at 3,800, Solana at 200. XRP doesn't have a meme like that right now. Maybe soon though. If it just keeps getting rejected at the same level, it could be that eventually the same will apply to Bitcoin at 120. But Bitcoin doesn't have as many memes. But the nice thing is, ranging sometimes is actually quite nice. Because like I said, it gives you a breather, it gives you some room. And you have to understand that just a few hours ago, just a teeny tiny bit ago, we were trading at all-time highs for XRP. You got to understand that. That yes, this is a bit, but we were trading at all-time highs 3 hours ago. Everything is falling though because Bitcoin's also breaking 117. It seems. And we all know Bitcoin, when XRP and everything was at an all-time high, this is what I said before, right? All of them were just now doing amazing. But the moment that Bitcoin decides to step a little bit outside of the box we like it to be in this case you're attempting the 120, attempting to go wild. The moment it started to break down, actually it was this one right here. Oh, this is UTC. Okay, wait, let's see. The moment it decided to break down, it was this one, right? Yeah, it was. Also, almost every single alt decided to break down. So right now, again, it's waiting for the reversal. It's waiting for that moment where hopefully Bitcoin decides to follow some support and we start going nuts again. But I have to admit, it's a lot less fun watching this together if things are just going down and down. But the counter would be that going down is necessary for going up, right? And the greatest of trades are made when the market is down rather than up. Could be a liquidity sweep. Ultimately, it is a liquidity sweep, but whether or not that's a positive or negative thing, we shall see if the liquidity sweep just keeps on sweeping. Just keeps on. Probably bounce at 350. Well, I'm going to say the stronger supports are around the 340, 45, 43 mark. When in doubt, zoom out. He's got a good point, though. But it's funny how the daily for Bitcoin looks a bit trashy. But it actually, when we look back at this in hindsight, it'll look like Bitcoin came down a lot in this time because it's slowly but surely every day down. Well, actually, a lot of alts are looking up. But that's a nice, interesting thing about it. That while Bitcoin is looking so down, and alts still remain to look so up, Solana now today making a new local high, I think that's actually quite a bullish indicator. Little side note, guys. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, we stream every single day. Sometimes good, sometimes maybe shit, but you know, at least we're here every single day showing up. And I think actually in the end, the most important thing, what you can do is just show up. It doesn't have to be to the stream necessarily, but just show up every single day consistently, and I think it's quite hard to lose. And then I'm man, are you guys also not tired? Like this crypto stuff, to some extent, it drains a lot out of you. Not streaming, that's one part. But I'm just saying every single day, the emotions of, because again, we hit basically all-time high earlier today, right? And then all of a sudden now things come back down because you thought for a second maybe that this is the time where we break through, but it doesn't. So it comes back down. So now you think like, okay, maybe it's going to break down to the ground, but then it doesn't because it moves right back up. Like, okay, so this is going to break all-time high, but then it doesn't. Then it goes, ah. This is how it can eat you up. This is why I said before that you have to be really happy to some extent that these times are pretty okay. Nothing too crazy happening. We're pretty chill. Because soon enough, it could literally be so that every single time, every single time, it's just going to be panic. Tom, one of the best guys, says, YouTube has never shown me your live streams until today. Epic fail, YouTube. Yeah. You should come on one time, Tom. I'm tired. Oh. I mean, it could be worse. It could be worse. LC says, it gets boring, but then it suddenly pumps and or dumps when you give up. Yeah, that's also true. And ultimately, I have to still keep in the back of my head, it could always be worse. Like right now, for example, I mean, is it really that bad? Can we really complain about it? Like, it's not as if the XRP price went back below $3 for all of a sudden, right? And we're all just like, or something like that. Or Bitcoin going back to below 100 and we're all starting to cry. It's you know, it's annoying perhaps, but at the end of the day, it is quite nice to see these moves. Tom says, nah, this shit's great right now. It just feels bad. When are you going to hop on a stream, Tom? When can I invite you? When are you coming on? Keep It says, I'm not complaining. Greed is kicking in. Yeah, I think the longer we are at these heights. W also says we can't complain at these levels. True, true, true. All right, we'll make that happen. That's nice. True, we can't complain. I mean, we can always complain, right? What else are we going to do on a daily basis if we don't do a bit of complaining? A bit of like, you know? A bit of juice in there. A bit like, that makes the day a little bit better. You know, because essentially what we're doing is we're deflecting the blame, right? Oh, but these stupid coins are not working. It's nice, because now it's not our fault. It's the coin's fault. Pray? You mean pray to the crypto? I mean, I've already done that. You didn't see that? You didn't see my video before?
Might be asking what I've been up to the past couple of days. Well, you've seen Bitcoin just make a new all-time high. It's because I am right here in the mountains praying to the ancient Andes gods for higher crypto prices. So even though I can't currently see the price because I have no internet, obviously, I've been praying. I know it worked because obviously that's what I've been doing the past couple of weeks. So no need to say thank you. So you might be asking what I've been up to.
Obviously obvious, right? Check the weekly chart for QNT, about to start blast off. You know, QNT has actually been one of the most underperforming cryptos out of all of them. What's up today, though? 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 29% this week. I still don't know what Conflux does or why it even exists. Kyler says you should have said XRP. I came out from skiing just now a few days ago and I realized, why did I say Bitcoin? But it's because XRP was not even close to an all-time high and Bitcoin was. It's last week, or maybe a week and a half ago. I don't remember when Bitcoin hit the all-time high. I was out there skiing thinking, oh no, it's happening, it's happening. But XRP wasn't even close at all to an all-time high. So I didn't even think about it. I didn't think that would be even close. And right now I could go to the beach and say it. You know, I can walk outside here. The beach is like a 7-second walk away. But I don't know. It's not going to hit the same, right? In the mountains in summer. Well, winter for me, I guess. But it hit different. Man, Solana made it crazy. But the fun thing is, Solana's actually not really up at all. Ethena is doing really, really well here. What else? I hear people outside my room. I'm gonna look at them. False alarm. Not that interesting. You might call me a weirdo, you know, a little peeping Tom. Sorry, Tom, for saying that. But if they're in front of my door and they're like doing some crazy stuff, I always like to just kind of see what's going on right there, you know? It doesn't matter. Whatever they're doing, I guess it don't concern me. So I don't know why I'm doing that. Maybe it's just... No, I actually have no idea. Am I the only one? The voices are back. Brother, I'm close to the elevator, okay? There's always people around. But sometimes I can hear them like doing crazy stuff. Like, so I want to check it out. And I can see them also. So I don't think it's voices. I don't think I'm completely cuckoo. But it's possible. I mean, you know, once you start looking at this crypto screen for about 9 hours a day, there's a non-zero chance. Can't hear them on stream. But I can hear them right now. Should I take my microphone? But reality, it's also that I'm looking at them thinking, what must they be thinking? Because I'm screaming at this microphone for the most part. And I'm really wondering what they must be looking at the door like, what is this guy doing? Because again, realize this. Let's say you're just waiting in front of the elevator, right? And you can hear a guy just say, go up more, go up more. What would you be thinking? You get that concept? Because I would be right there thinking, what is this? Is it, you know, is it not fitting? You know, I need to go up more. Why is the guy saying that? You know, so, you know, there could be so many different things I could be thinking about. And I'm wondering every single time what they're thinking also. No, not even king. It could be otherwise, right? You're trying to lift the freaking TV screen, like, But why is it always one guy is the strange thing? Because almost any single scenario I could think of where somebody's talking like this. No, it's just you and all that. No. Please don't tell me I'm crazy. Please. Smeg says, I was crazy once. They locked me in a rubber room. You know, one's crazy, you can never really fully get rid of that freaking stamp on your head, dog. It's Fight Club. Most people have to do some to get audio and visual hallucinations. Consider yourself lucky. Why does nobody... What if it really is me going absolutely insane, huh? It's a non-zero chance. You know, because, yeah. I mean, it's a hotel. I would expect it's real because it's a hotel and they're just walking by the elevator and stuff. So, I mean... But maybe I'm actually not in a hotel. Matter of fact, maybe I'm right here in my house, in the reality, in a random ass house that I have, sitting in my bathtub with my like little, you know, steering wheel. You know, I've never even driven a car. Matter of fact, never even got a driver's license. Every single time I get in my car, I think I'm just walking right there to the bathroom, like, traffic. I've never even driven a car, you know? Like, I've never been outside. I've not been outside this house in months. Matter of fact, it's not even a house. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going insane, piece by piece. Keep It says, I got so crazy once, I was convinced I was in a simulation. GTA Stick says, that's the crazy guy next door, don't talk to him. Oh, no. I don't know any of my neighbors, though, because I've been here now for a while in this hotel room, but I don't like to go outside when there's people, because now they know who's the guy screaming. All right, so every single time I go out, like, I wait for like a second, because, brother, I'm telling you, I've been screaming for hours and hours and hours, right? Days and days and days. They have definitely stood in front of that elevator sometimes and looked at the door thinking, is he butchering something? Is he doing something crazy? I remember the day when the stream went crazy, right? When the market went crazy. We were here 9 hours. I come back. What the frick you doing? Brother, coin's not up. We're waiting. Crazy people don't know they're crazy. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think we don't really have an issue. Because I understand if this really is not, you know, then I'm literally insane. They think you're Jeffrey? Bro, I got the wrong complexity. I don't look like Jeffrey. Yet. I can make that work. I mean, you know, you just got to be a bit more creative, you know? I look like a nun. I don't know how I thought this would look like Jeffrey Dahmer. Never mind. That ain't gonna work. Yeah. Yet. I mean, you know, I really do believe that if you look like he looks like one of his lovers. You've caught me. Every single time the stream goes off, I'm just gonna, as I told you, all right, I never leave this house. So it's just me and freaking Samantha or whatever is my alter ego, right? And like I'm gonna start talking to myself. And that's why they always, for them, you guys don't know this part. They think it's two people. Cause like, whoa, I go like talk like, I don't know, like a Mexican lady or something. You guys all think I'm just normal. Normal is half. But no, you just think, no, they think I'm freaking, but they don't see it though. You do. Okay, man, maybe not. I see crypto is driving you crazy. I don't think so. I think we're still okay. Maybe soon though. You know, if XRP all of a sudden gets us a nice little crash going to freaking zero, yeah, that might drive me a bit crazy. There is indeed a non-zero possibility that I would actually lose my mind. Not if XRP goes because the entire crypto market goes. No, I'm talking about only XRP, you know? If we just get pranked completely. You know, Brad Garlinghouse comes out and he gets the funniest video posted of him just doing like, he's just, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, Chris Larson, and he just makes a video where he's doing this as the price is going to freaking, I don't know, 20 cents because they sold every single cent. That would be the funniest day of my life. I'd go crazy probably, but it would be an interesting thing. I mean, the chance of that happening is pretty small, I think. Because I think they can make Ripple side. They can make way more money keeping it up. The thing to do. No. But if he does that, I'm telling you right now, if Brad Garlinghouse makes a video like that, maybe even Chris Larson, maybe David Schwartz, I'm taking it, right? I'll accept my defeat, and I'll accept insanity, and you guys are going to have to lock me up in one of those rooms. I need to be restrained right there with like one of these, you know? Mm-hmm. To the moon crazy. This would be better. This is most likely. If we just go so crazy for so many days in a row, you know? Hey, can you imagine? You know what the funny thing is? Let's go for fun. Let's go take a look at this. I want to know. This is XLM, by the way. Still hoping this is going to... XLM looks a lot more clean, right? This is 4 hourly. It looks really juiced up for another move upwards. It's easier to see that one. But I do wonder, actually now, I do wonder for fun, is this a clean chart? Oh, good enough. The daily still looks really, really good, but I do wonder, what was the highest percentage gain XRP saw? So this is funny, right? If I look back at my older things, this is what I drew in the chart, I guess, a while back. Once we cross this, $1 is next. Well, yeah, I guess those were good times. But anyway, so here, within 1 day, the XRP price went up 45%. Let's see another one. Here, 20%, 19.4. Here, throughout the day, difference of 20. Okay, and here, the difference throughout the day, I'm just looking for fun, 27%. And here, throughout the day, the biggest difference was about 30%. If we were to copy any percentage gain we saw back then, let's say we'll go up 27% right now. This is like November times, right? Just from here, 27%, which has happened in the day before, even 30% in the height. 30% would bring us to $4.60 within 1 day. But that's a bit too high. We go a bit too crazy, right? Let's say 20%. 20% would bring us to $4.24 within a day. You're thinking this is really heavy, crazy, this, that, that. It's not really that wild at all. It's literally possible. And it wouldn't even be that surprising. Just again, you've gotten used to these bear market gains, thinking, oh, but really it's not that much. Dogecoin open interest has hit new highs. Open interest on Dogecoin new highs, but all-time high not in sight. That is actually quite peculiar. Oh, Dogecoin is doing pretty well, huh? Or no? Or has it also come falling? Oh, no, it's crumbling back down. Oh, here's my... This is really funny, actually, from earlier. So what happened here is I had to buy myself some Dogecoins because, obviously, I had to get this bot in. But I thought, oh, wait a minute, they don't actually have Doge perps. I didn't know they had coin margin for Doge. Because I scrolled through it, I was like, oh, they don't have it. So I sold again, and then I had to buy it back, which is kind of funny. But now we do. We have them. We're actually down a little bit, but it's okay. It's okay. More are down. Ava's down. Algo's not doing too amazing right now. Curve. There's one guy in the chat who used to be the freaking Curve man, but I guess not too crazy. Yassine says, it's not crazy. XRP has been suppressed for so long. Now, I'd say then at that point, even a 40% move in a day would very much be possible. Because if I look back at the 2017 era, maybe even 2021, many times in a row, you just see the price go crazier and crazier and crazier each and every single time. me a second. All right. Okay. What was I saying? I was gonna say, even a 40% move or something like that would not be too crazy, purely from the perspective that has been suppressed for that long. Like whatever we're seeing right here, it's kind of like peanuts. But you know, I always like it when people say dump, dump, dump. If you're looking at Bitcoin right here, you can consider this a dump because we're back to like 116, something like this. It's pretty low for the range. But XRP, theoretically speaking, is still, if you look at it from this daily perspective, seeing the highest day ever. So unless we all of a sudden go back below, what's the highest? Let's see the high on the close. So the close here this day was 348, right? Then this close was 345. Yeah, today could mark the day where XRP makes its highest close ever. Even now, the Bitcoin's back to 116, not even at 119. That's actually really quite special that we're able to keep this up. But y'alls, I'm going to end this stream for a bit. I'm going to go outside. I've not gone outside in a day, and that's a problem, right? So I told y'all, whenever I wake up, I instantly stream. Why? Because I know the market goes craziest every single time I just wake up, it seems, or just before I woke up. So I want to catch that move. And last time we spent 9 hours here because the market kept going crazy. Right now, it's only been a little bit over 2 hours, but if something crazy happens, I'll be right back. But I got to go outside a little bit, get some sun, because it's already 5 p.m. The sun is going to be gone in a bit. I'm going to walk on the beach. I'm going to do some crazy. Not touch some grass. There's no grass here. It's just freaking sand. But it's all good. I'm going to enjoy it. If something happens, I'll be back in a little bit. And I hope it's not going to be in the nighttime. I hope it's like in 2 hours, all of a sudden, XRP is back above 263. We're going at it. We're going crazy. This would be juicy. Oh, this would be nice. All right, everybody, every single one of y'all, get some fresh air, get some nice sunlight. You know, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to join in for more streams in the future. We stream every single day, at least a few hours. So, you know, hopefully we're trying to catch that move again and we get some crazy going. But we don't know. All we know is we're going to watch this every single day until we can't no more. And if you want to join in on whatever I'm doing with terms of trading, you can check out the links down below for my bots, for example, or for 𝗏𝗏, some platforms I'm trading on. And yeah. I'm not your financial advisor. Nothing I say here is financial advice. Nothing is guaranteed. All we do is just give my opinion and something along those lines. Yeah. So, but lads, see you again in another one. Peace out.